Well, here we are. We got a gentleman wears many hats. He's wearing a different one this year. Much different, actually. We got Brett Lee here. Now he's the owner, Walton Kawasaki 7 team. Brett, thanks for having a little chat with us, buddy.
Well, I don't mind. I love it, and it's kind of cool to hear you say owner of a race team.
Is that the dream? I thought media mogul was the dream.
I'm a man of many dreams, right? No, I mean, I would say this has been something I've wanted to do for a long time, and it's been a itch I felt really wanted to scratch. So, and like we said at the beginning of the year, we feel like we're a very important part of obviously amateur motocross, and this is a natural way to sort of play it forward. And I mean, that went into some of the selection we got of the guys, and so I'm pretty proud of that.
Now you take this doesn't always happen for someone in their first time kind of a template from a team kind of moves over from the Huber Motors, comes over to Walton. That had to have helped, I guess. I mean, there were guys, you brought guys over and stuff like that. Talk about that. Is it the transition to you being the boss?
Yeah, I mean, some of it's a different thing, but what happened, I mean, mostly was Kawasaki's been working with us for a number of years, doing our amateur or like Learn to Ride, our Kickstart program, working in our kids camps, and so they played off a lot of models that you see across the country, whether it's at Go for Dunes with their program. So they want to kind of grow that into what happens here a little bit. And so, yeah, it became a natural thing to bring the team here. I will say it's been an unbelievable learning curve, very steep. And, we've had to move pretty quick here. I think all the stuff we do in the past doesn't really play into the race team, but being able to sort of, react under a little bit of pressure has helped us, right? So we're moving pretty quick. And there's some stressful times, but I'm really looking forward to going racing. Like, I just try and keep reminding myself of what that's going to feel like to see that rig at Edmonton.
Okay, now back it up here. It would have been pretty easy to say, okay, we've got two guys. We got Tanner Ward, we got Jeremy Mackay, but then you went south of the border, and Justin Bogle's name gets tossed around. Obviously, that's a kind of a big deal kind of thing. How does that happen? Why does that happen? And what happened?
Well, I mean, it's a bunch of different factors that came into that. That wasn't like just a quick decision. One of the things we were under when we had a major change in sponsorship. We obviously were with Kawasaki, but then we changed it, and we were kind of late getting to the party. And riders become hard to find, and also, if you're going to compete, you have to bring riders to the table that you think can win championships. And so, I mean, that kind of led us down a path of looking for different guys, and we weren't sure where we were going to land with guys. And honestly, the whole deal kind of came together super quick with Tanner, Jeremy, and Justin, right? They all sort of just landed on our lap at the right time. The right deals were presented. They changed a little bit from the last time we had talked, especially with Bogle. And he's a brand name that showed that we're pretty serious about going racing. And he's a guy who really likes the Kawasaki Pro Circuit platform, so it was something he's really interested in.
Okay, well, let me ask you. Obviously, the news is out there now, of course. You're going to put Tanner Ward's going to be the 250 guy, 450 is going to be Jeremy, which I think that is good. These guys aren't bad. What I mean? Now they're the guys. Tell us maybe a little bit about Justin's injury and what does that mean for him coming in? What's that going to mean?
Well, I mean, obviously, it was bad enough that he's been off the bike now for 6 weeks. And so anytime a pro is off the bike for 6 weeks, it puts him a little bit behind. It's going to be a few more weeks to get ready to get back into the series. So the main thing for us is we had a commitment to Kawasaki that we'd show up at the first round with a rider who can compete in both classes. So we had to honor that commitment. Tanner had listened to that he was open to this winter. We had talked about it because when he got injured, I mean, everything was on the table for him. He'd also loved riding that Kawasaki last year. He showed he could really go fast. Mm-hmm. He set fastest lap times last year. And so he was open to it, but I mean, again, Tanner was in the same position as us. We were just all kind of like, I don't want to use the word scrambling, but we were kind of the last ones to get everything locked down, right? I mean, from sponsors to everything. So, I mean, that's how Tanner had just ended up with Justin getting hurt. We knew we had to have a guy. Tanner was right there. You can't find a faster, better replacement than Tanner for Justin. And so that's what we all agreed, and we went for it. And I think he can win.
Okay, well, so we've made the decision on the 250, 450 guys now. But what happens when Justin is feeling ready to race? Is he coming? How does that work?
Well, I mean, this gives him the window to make sure he comes back when he's ready. He's got a commitment with World Supercross, so he's got to, I think, look at how that all fits into this. And so when he's ready, he's going to let us know that he's ready.
So he's not committed to the, like, he has to be here by round 2, or he's...
No, there's not like a set date he has to return by. I mean,
But
as long as we have right now a strong 250 and 450 team.
Gotcha.
That's our plan. Those are the guys we're going to get behind right now. When Justin's ready to come back, he can come back when he's healthy. I don't want to drop him into a series or a race where he's in a dangerous position, right? I want him to come back. I think he's a super talented guy. I don't know him as well as I know the other two. I mean, it's one of the things I really know my guys right now really well, and I got a real good personal relationship with them, which I love. And I don't want to bring someone into this that, you know, feels they have to prove something to me or anything like that. I want them to come in when they're ready, they're confident, they're fit, and they're prepared to race.
But this hasn't changed, like, so it's not, he's under contract to come up here with you guys, so this doesn't change, like, he could, maybe, what if it's like, well, maybe I'm not going to come up?
That'll be a conversation,
Okay.
I guess, right? I mean, if he's like never gets to that point where he's confident or comfortable to race, I mean, we're going to stay in contact with him. And again, I don't want to see him do anything that puts him in a bad spot. We're going to make sure he comes back and races when he's ready to race. And if that means, and that may mean he says, hey, we may play it out a different way. Maybe we have a guy in play for the 450 class, right? And Jeremy's doing really well, and he needs another guy out there at the last round. Maybe Bogle shows up the last round on a 450.
I see what you're saying, okay.
Hey.
All right, or vice versa, or...
Absolutely, either way, yeah.
I got you.
I'm just saying I'm not putting pressure on him. Chad's not putting any pressure on them to make any kind of crazy decisions, and I just want to see him get healthy. I mean, I think that guy's got lots of racing left in his career, so yeah, getting healthy is the key to making your career last a little longer. For sure.
Okay, now, again, we said switch hatch, track owner, race promoter, media guy last year kind of thing. Whatever. What's the biggest surprise you've had to being a team owner? Is there something you're like, oh boy, didn't see that coming?
Yeah, I mean, I think just the cost to go in racing is like one of those things that it always surprises you. Any business that you jump into, you never know all the costs that you actually get into it. And so there's a lot of cost that goes into running a race team like this. Giving guys an elite program takes a lot of work. I mean, I've basically been dedicated to this. I thought I'd be sort of like dabbling in and doing that, but I mean, we've been dedicated to it. Chad's completely dedicated. He's all in. The mechanics are all in. So I think it's that sort of time and resources. It's an amazing amount of time and resources. I gotta admit, like between Chad and the guys over here, and Jaden, those guys brought a lot of experience. Jaden Brown brought a lot of experience over. I also, as much as it may seem crazy, I lean on Derek Schuster, Kevin Tyler a lot. Those guys give me feedback so I can just sort of like confirm what I'm thinking, right? Like it's sort of this sort of third party, and we do it like with our racetracks too, right? Like
I guess you guys share a lot.
The three of us are pretty open books on how we run our racetracks, and I'm not saying we're doing that with the race teams as much, right? Because we're going to compete, and that's part of what we want to do. I want to beat those guys, and they want to beat me. But as much as we can help each other, we're helping each other. And so you have their resources in. Steve Sims is another guy who's gave me a lot of great advice. And you add in what Chad and Jane brought to it, so kind of brings me up to speed pretty quick.
Nice. Now, I said you're a new team owner. It's not your first time owning a team. You own a hockey team.
Yeah, the Centenaires. Yeah, the mighty Centenaires.
That's a funny story how that happened.
Yeah, if anyone goes on Instagram, just follow the Centenaires. Centenaires is a lot of fun, and some of my very best friends came from running that team. So I'm pretty excited. Actually, John Steffler, who's part of that team, he's part of the Tanner Steffler Foundation.
Yeah.
They're actually supporting the team. And then three of the guys are going to fly to Calgary and be at Calgary National. They want to come and see it and support the team.
Green Bastard?
Green Bastard is not allowed to come. But
go follow him on Instagram.
Yeah, follow on Instagram. You'll learn all about that. But yeah, so I mean, if that's the template of running a team for both Mel and I, Mel's involved in that just like she's involved in this. Like, that's the one thing. I mean, I've never said it, but I mean,
Mel's the glue. We know it. She's back there.
I don't know. I'm kidding. She keeps me on my toes, but I mean, we are partners, and so every decision is shared, and you know, the highs and lows are shared. So anyways, she does that with the Centenaires too. So there's a lot of good good stuff that comes from doing teams.
Awesome. Okay, well, I mean, okay, we've got you here. We just had photo day here. I kind of crashed the party, and we're doing this, so it's kind of fun. Thanks for having me up here, or allowing me to kind of get in the way. And but okay, so now while we've got you here, let's talk about obviously the other big thing is the TransCan. So that's qualifiers are starting. Anything new going on this year? What can you tell us about the TransCan, and how's that all going?
So TransCan, not a ton new. I mean, we tell everyone, our focus when you come to TransCan is we're going to give an elite race experience. I feel like amateurs get a very elite race experience here at TransCan, so that's the best track conditions, the best referees, the best on-track experience we can give those riders, so that if you travel from anywhere in the country, you're going to get an absolute fair playing field to compete for a national title. So we're very committed to that. That's a big part of it. But we did do some things that I think are going to add to the overall experience, and we found that like our after hours is such a big part of TransCan. You're camping for a week, so we added that giant swimming pool is a new thing that's here, so people can go swimming.
We check the pH level on that thing?
No, we're not doing that. And we've we fixed up the store, and we're going to try and really build some of those like after hour experiences. But our focus and our like the number one is creating an even playing field that anyone in the country can show up and compete for a national title.
Nice. All right. Well, unless there's anything else we need to talk about on the team, I think we've covered everything. We got your riders, talked about the Bogle situation, TransCan. Man, nothing left to do but go racing. You guys going to do any gate drops? Is Tanner going to do any gate drops before that?
I don't think Tanner will do any. As much as it scared us, the idea of like training late in the season, man, I think it's been the best. You did a video with him, and he talked to Colton Fossiati a lot. He's been talking to Dylan Wright. He's good buddies with him, and he's in the same situation. And I don't think I've ever seen Tanner sort of in a better mind space and as hungry as he is, right? Like right now he's like every minute counts to him, right? Every second counts to him. He's on us to make sure those bikes are ready when he's ready to go. And that excites me a lot. And Jeremy rode last weekend. And they're two different personalities, right? Like Jeremy's, like as long as he's having fun, he's got that sort of flow going. He's younger, right? So he did a TVR race last weekend. We had a hoot, had a great time, and he was super fast. And we got out of there with a couple good starts and healthy and all good. So we're like, I think we're ready to go to Edmonton.
Awesome. All right. Well, hey, this is Maggie.
Yeah.
Maggie, new dog Maggie. Awesome. Well, hey, buddy, thanks for this. We should have set aside a bit more time for this because your guys don't know all the sponsors yet, but I know you sure as heck do probably. So thanks for having the chat with us. Good luck with your racing season. Hope this all goes well for you. And you can always move into our basement at home if you need to, if things go south. You know.
Well, I've been eyeing up the van.
There's no room in the van.
Yeah.
But all right, well, thanks. Congratulations on the new team. It's a whole new endeavor. It's kind of fun. It's going to be cool to watch you watch how it goes and everything. Your riders. And
and
you want to thank, man.
I'm excited. I think we're all like in that sort of we're ready to see that rig go out their laneway. We're ready to see this thing get off and going. And going back to sponsors, like, I mean, there's lots of them, but I mean, without Kawasaki and without them getting behind us the way they got behind us for this race team, I mean, literally it's put bikes underneath those guys. It's put a couple jobs in place for some people and gave me an opportunity to do something super cool. And I just could not be more grateful to those guys at Kawasaki. I know Jacob will watch this and he'll want me to hit all the sort of the slogans.
The buzzwords, yeah.
The buzzwords.
Yeah,
and I'll get
remember he said if all
but
else fails, say let the good times roll.
The brand that builds champions, right?
Oh, that one too.
But we joke, but man, without the trust, right? Like, we're brand new. Like, we're not brand new, but we are brand new. So they put a lot of faith in us, and I'm hoping we're sitting here in a few months, and it's all paid off.
All right. Well, hey, thanks for your time. Good luck. Brett Lee, Walton Kawasaki 7 team. Watch for them out there at the races.